Alright, well, I got my template finished for the floor panel that's going to go alongside the wall behind the driver's seat. It's 23 inches wide, and I taped the template down to the board, and I drew I traced the outlines with a pencil, and then you can see where I'm going to cut. So let's get to cutting. Alright, well, there's my first piece of floorboard cut. These cutouts don't have to be perfect. They're not going to be seen. They just have to be close. And close is what we got. Right there. Alright. Looking good. Now I have to cut out the piece for this area, the 8-foot long panel. So you can see these metal brackets that were in the van when I bought it. I'm sure they had something to do with mounting the wheelchair lift that was in here. But they're causing problems for me because they're only about that wide, and then they drop down about 3/4 of an inch. And then there's another one of those brackets right across here, and then there's another one of them right back here. Oops. Damn it. I just dropped the phone. Come on, focus. So, where this top floorboard is resting on one of those brackets, which is right back there, only about an inch or two behind, right about here, say. It's now, there's no more of those brackets from here to the back of the van. So now I have this floor panel resting on top of these brackets, and then the one right next to it where there is none. And it looks like, you know, this is a 7/16 inch thick, so is this. And I can take this panel and slide it right up underneath it without even lifting this thing. So I'm going to have to leave this panel here and put the finished panel on top. That adds more weight to the van, and that's too bad. I don't see any other way I can do it. I can't just put down strips or anything like that, because then there'd be gaps where it would sag. It has to be flat all the way across the bottom for it to not sag. So I'm going to have to leave these two panels in just to support the top panel. Yuck. What a nuisance. So I'm going to have to get busy on that. But now I have these, there's 3 panels that are going to make up this floor. There's this panel here, which is 8 feet long and 4 feet wide. The only cut I had to make for this panel was just around this wheel well. And then there's a 23-inch panel, 23-inch wide, that's 8 feet long. I had to cut around that wheel well and the gas filler, which is up there where those rags are. Now I have to cut a panel to fit the back right down into there, and right down into there. But it's square corners, nice square corners, so I don't have to do any rounded corners or anything like that. I can make straight cuts. I can do it with my circular saw. No need for the jigsaw. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't go all the way to the wall in places like this, because this is not going to be seen. This is going to be completely covered out of the way. So I mean, I could try to scribe it to fit into that space right there, but it's not necessary because there's going to be nothing on it right there. See this? It has this 1-inch metal lip, and that goes in there too, but nothing back there is going to be visible. So I'm not going to get all I'm not going to go out of my way to scribe that. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll measure it and just do a square cut. Yeah, we'll see. So it's time to start putting a finish on the floorboards. They've all been sanded. I had to sand to get the stencils that they ink on when they manufacture the wood. All those black stencils, I got to get all that off. That was difficult because some of that black ink really sinks in. Anyway, that's all done. I'm ready to stain, but before I do, I have to use a pre-stain. I don't have to, but if you don't, when you put the stain on, it can be blotchy. You want the stain to absorb evenly. So you have to put this wood conditioner on it first, and give it about 15 minutes, and then go back and put the stain on. And then wait for that to dry. And then maybe by the end of the day, it's still morning here, maybe by the end of the day I might get a couple of coats of polyurethane on too. So we'll see. I just have to say, before I start putting everything back in here, that I'm really happy with the way the floor came out, the way it looks. I was a little skeptical. This kind of thing isn't usually done. People don't usually use oriented strand board for a finished floor. I like it. I like the way it looks. I put a stain on it, a golden pecan stain, and a few coats of polyurethane. I think it looks pretty darn good for a cheap floor. I'm pretty happy with it.